Hello, my name's Richard, and I really like videos, so much so that I in fact do not own any DVDs, because I think that video is the greatest form of home entertainment ever. I think it is the true ambassador to film on home entertainment, and I think it is the true brother and sister to film on home entertainment, and I think that DVDs are like some leprous inbred half-cousin, best ignored and only put up with at family gatherings and things like that. Mostly, to be fair, it's because I like to be able to fast forward the government anti-piracy warnings, right? Don't work on an oil rig, don't go on coach trips, don't work in a school, stop wasting my time. Obviously, today's country being what it is, we're reduced to having to go to second-hand shops and charity shops to buy our videos. But this is not a problem, because you can have some absolutely amazing finds. And the game I like to play when you're in a charity shop is the game Quality Lottery. Now, you're in a charity shop and you're looking through their stock and they've got all the usual things, the Friends box sets, Sex in the City, all this sort of stuff. And occasionally you can come across some absolute gems, stuff that you've never heard of, that when you pull it out and you look at it, you realise you haven't heard of the director or anyone who's in it. It hasn't even got Lewis Collins or Klaus Kinski in it. And you think, how can I make a possible choice on whether I should buy this because I have no idea of who's in it? And you think, well, you know, it's only 25p, lovely big box, right? It's probably going to have loads and loads and loads of great trailers that if you buy it, you'll watch it and you'll see all those trailers and you'll suddenly, next time you're in a charity shop, you'll see the film you saw the trailer for, you're like, oh my god, that's the thing I saw that trailer for, that looked awful, I've got to buy that, and that'll have trailers on it as well, and it's in a lovely big box, it's like a perpetual rubbish inspiring rubbish, it's absolutely fantastic. Now obviously something you want to bear in mind when you're in a charity shop is to check whether the films have been rewound or not. Now, I'm not a big be kind rewind Nazi, but it does increase the longevity of your stock, and if you're serious about archiving as I am, it is essentially an essential thing to do. Now, but the reason you want to check, especially if it's a PG, to see whether it's been rewound or not to the beginning, okay, is because if it's not been rewound, what that pretty much means is that's about as far as anyone could get before not only did they have to turn it off, but they had to throw it away. The same does apply, of course, to 15s and 18s, although with 15s and 18s, that can also mean that's where there's tits. Anybody who's got See No Evil, Hear No Evil, or Sirens will know what I mean. Video is far more charming than DVD, right? I properly, unironically love video. I'm not one of these sarcastic people that likes things that are rubbish just because they're rubbish and that somehow makes them cool and great. I properly love videos, right? But the thing is, right, take the worst film I've ever seen in my life, which is this film, The Edge of Hell. It's also known as Rock and Roll Nightmare, directed by John Fasano, 1987. Now, this film is about a rock and roll band who go into a barn in the middle of nowhere to record an album, but the lead singer has done it as a ruse so that he can summon up Satan, he can fight Satan in a battle to restore the balance of good and evil in the universe. If you haven't seen this film, it's fair to assume that it is an over-ambitious project for the budget that they had. It's also got my favourite thing that you get with videos, but don't get with DVDs anymore, right? It's got an artist's hand-drawn fantasy landscape where a sort of tanned Thor-style character holds a Valkyrie in his arms while a weird craziness goes on behind him. And you look at that and you think, that looks amazing. I've got another film here, which is Alison's Birthday. Satan's only gift is death. And you can see from the front cover that it's got a goat, which is obviously inferring Satanism, and it's got an altar and a young, but not too young, nubile, naked girl, and you're thinking, well, Satan's gift is death. You're thinking, well, there's going to be some sort of ritual thing, maybe oiling or something like that. You look at these two front covers and you think, that is exactly what I want to watch right now. That is exactly the film I want to see. And then you turn it over and you look at the stills on the back and you realise that nothing within this film is going to be anywhere near as good as the front cover suggests. But at the same time, 25p, probably loads of great trailers, lovely original big box. Now, quality of the film aside, this is a video worth owning. But if you was to go into HMV or whatever Virgin's called nowadays and buy this on DVD, all you're doing is buying a rubbish film, right? There's no charm, no kudos, no reason. You're just wasting your money on rubbish, right? And that is why video is far more charming than DVD, and I think is the greatest thing ever.